Good morning, Unity. Good morning to all my friends that are here in front of me, and good morning to all of our friends who are out there, somewhere out there in La La Land, curled up in your beds, your couches, and doing whatever you're doing on a Sunday morning. And it is a great morning. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you that are here and all of you out there that have sent me so many beautiful birthday cards and good wishes. I sat this morning really early when it was quiet out looking at the river, and I read all of the cards again, and they were just so beautiful. So I was overwhelmed with the joy of the love from all of you. So thank you so much. So I also would like to welcome, where does Andy go? Oh, Andy's hiding in the back for some reason. Andy from Madison, he's been with us before, and he is friends of Diane and David Pulley. So welcome back there, Andy.
Welcome, Andy.
So for those of you that are here in the sanctuary, if you would be so kind to turn off your cell phones and no texting during the service, because then I think I'm boring and I start to worry. So you don't want to worry me. Okay. So I'd like to start with our vision, a spiritual community of love, peace, and acceptance. And our mission, creating an inclusive spiritual community through fellowship, service, and community outreach. And if you would, read along with me or just listen as we read the touchstone for love today. If you remember, I told you that I fell in love with this reading, and I read it every day, and it's making a marvelous difference in my life. So I am bringing it to you for the month, and then next month we'll find something new. So if you want to say with me, that would be fine. May I be divinely programmed today to think thoughts that are most creative, positive, insightful, and beneficial. In doing so, I do not give up my personal responsibility or turn my power over to something outside of myself. Rather, I take the highest level of responsibility, knowing that the divine mind has created my mind to be a touchstone for love. I walk forward today in confidence and love, knowing that my mind is used for the highest and the best, dissolving wrong-minded thoughts and perceptions, knowing my mind is used for endless love for myself and for others. So it is, amen, and it is done. You do know that amen means it is done, but I just like to give it that extra push in case. So today we're speaking about taking a leap of action. And many of you know that the expression, take a leap of faith, trust God, and that's very good advice. However, there needs to be something after that. It's great to have faith, but if you have faith and just sit on your butt, then you're not extending that faith out into the universe. So if you ask yourself the question then, what needs to happen now? Okay, so I have this faith. I believe in this higher power, whatever that may be to each one of you. What happens now? And then the next question has to be, what do I need to do to make that happen? So I'm saying maybe it's time to take a leap of action instead of a leap of faith. It's sort of like, how many of you have heard, put your money where your mouth is? That's a good one too for ministry. So, thank you, Drew. So, I believe that it matters not so much what we believe or don't believe. What matters is what we do. So we're in this rapidly changing world. Would you all agree with me on that? Yes. And so I ask you today to be proactive and become an active participant. And it could be just as simple as a random act of kindness, nothing more. could be that simple. One could say, right now my faith is shattered, and I don't think that faith matters anymore. People do have crises in faith, but I ask you to think about Mother Teresa, who, as many of you probably know, she did have a crisis of faith. But even so, she never stopped caring for the poor and the sick. She continued with random acts of kindness. So for me, faith then means action. We may even momentarily lose faith in God. But does that mean we lose faith in ourselves or our fellow man? No. So I asked the question for myself this week. So how do you act then when you're in this divine doubt? Because I am sure for what's going on, we have the virus, and we have racism, and we have police brutality, and we have a government that's cattywampus upside down. So what do you do when all of this is whirling around your mind? And somebody asked me this week, are you sure there's a God? Well, the answer is actually yes. But Joshua Herschel is a religious philosopher, and he has this to say about the subject of lost faith. For the believers, proof are irrelevant. For the non-believer, proofs are unconvincing. His thought is we should look around instead at all we have and be in extreme gratitude towards God, the higher power, the universe itself, Mother Earth, whatever resonates with you. Herschel goes on to say, history is not the human quest for God, but God in search of man. So what does that mean, God in search for man? Well, for me, it means everything is within us that was there before we were even born. And God is waiting to give us the kingdom, but first we have to find the answers within ourselves. A question then in our response to God by our actions, is God there in all of our good actions? Yeah, even if we don't believe in God, yes, God is there. Universal intelligence is there. But words are beautiful. And I could write glorious words with lots of adjectives. But words without deeds have no meaning because they're fleeting. Our good deeds show the empathy and compassion in the heart to live on purpose here on Mother Earth, to serve and to love. Is action more important than belief? That's a question we have to answer for ourselves. This is what I know, and I know this within my heart and soul. We have diamond fields and in our hearts and gold mines in our souls. And the Holy Spirit, which you know is the action of God, is waiting for us to discover it. God in search of man, waiting for us to discover it. This is why Herschel says that God is waiting for us to wake up, to dive deeper inward. And we have to. We have to go deeper and deeper and deeper and find the undercurrents that pull us from these fields of discovery. There is something within, and it pulls us in the direction that we don't want to go to. How many of you ever been in the ocean and there's warnings about that undertow and it grabs you and it can actually take you way out to places you don't even want to be? So instead, we have to learn, instead of learning just to control them, which is most of what people do, how to work with them, it's time to discover the cause of that undercurrent and release them. And in the release, we find we cannot produce change in our mind or soul without directing. Because again, action, we have to direct the undercurrent and calm the waters. Just calm the waters. I believe we must live to move forward. And to move forward means to be more about becoming, and I've spoken about this before. It's about becoming and not doing. But the paradox, there is a paradox in this. The paradox is the more we become, the more we actually do. Does that make sense to you? The more we become calm. The more we know who and what we are. That gives us the freedom to do more in our lives. But think about this. Being much more than we are gives us the capacity for doing much. Doing much gives expression to the richness and the goodness of the best within us. Are you with me there? Okay, so being much more than we are gives us the capacity for doing more. Doing much gives expression to the richness and the goodness and the best within it. Believe it or not, that is where our happiness and peace lies. If there ever was a time, ever, to understand the power of our minds, the time is now. Many of us wonder sometimes, and many in my 19 years of ministry have asked me, why I'm capable and I'm able to do this. So why are many capable men and women, how do they not reach that place, that higher place that they truly want? And I believe still that it lies in understanding the power of the mind. One of the secrets that I've discovered in this New Thought teaching is that the I am is the ruling factor and the power of mankind. Everything that follows I am is a prayer. Everything. So watch your I am. I am fun. I am loving. I am joy. I am clumsy. I am stupid. I don't have the energy. Watch your I ams. I am is the ruling factor and the power of mankind. Everything that follows I am is a prayer. And every I am, whether we believe it or not, directs the mind and the power, and the mind directs the I am, and the I am is the power behind the mind. So the I am directs the mind, and the power of the mind directs and controls what we do. But the I am is the power behind the mind. So think about this for a minute with me. I started with the premise that there might be a crisis of faith going on in our world right now, and that we might be doubting there's a God. Okay, so if just for a minute, we took God out of the equation, okay? Took God out of the equation just for a minute, we would still have the power of mind, and it would continually work for us. Because whether we believe or not believe, the mind is something that we're born with. The I am is within us, and the power of the universe continually works regardless. So God loved the atheists because whether they know it or not, the power of their mind rules their lives. And I just chuckle at that, actually. So I also talked about in the beginning of taking a leap of faith. A leap of action. See how we're programmed? So, yeah, I know. So I had to think about this, because I don't like to come here and say, well, this is possible for you and this is possible for you, but it doesn't affect me. Well, of course, everything that I say, I have to think about before I speak it. So I asked myself, what can I do to take this leap of action? What can I do? So I don't know how many of you know or not know, but I am one credit away from becoming a credited forgiveness coach. I studied under Dr. Fred Luskin, director and co-founder of the Stanford University The Forgiveness Project. The only reason I didn't finish is because they shut down the program. So I also worked for a year and a half in California with all the state colleges on domestic violence. And in all of those presentations, I worked with police. So we're a community here. And I think as a community, where do I go to ask what our community can do? Who do I speak with? And I thought, well, why not start with the police department, make an appointment and find out who I would make an appointment with, and say, my community wants to step up and take action, but we don't know how to support you. We don't know how big the divide is between our people of color in our neighborhoods and ourselves. I also have these credentials, and how could I speak and where to whom to bring that forward, especially domestic violence. And of course, domestic violence rolls right in with forgiveness. So it may turn into nothing. It may turn into something big. I don't know, but it's a start. Because if I'm asking each one of you to figure out what leap of action you could take for this new normal that we're in, because we're either going to be the menders, the light showers, or we're going to be the breakers. And I think the people that are breaking down are going to be sort of just out here wondering what's happening. And we don't want to be those people. We want to be those people that are taking a stand. And again, it doesn't have to be as big as what I'm saying for me, but just that random act of kindness. And where does that begin? As simple as when we say up here, we need a volunteer to handle this project, and nobody raises their hand. Take a leap of action. I don't like that kind of stuff. Well, do it anyhow. Try it. Try it. I want to see all those hands raised next time I ask. No guilt here, no guilt. No guilt. Okay. So, does it make sense what I'm saying? Yeah. Does it make sense? Are you with me? Are you understanding? We have more to do. Let's do it. And I don't know what all of that is, but we can do it. I know we can. So we can all stop complaining about COVID-19 and police brutality and racism and our government, and do one thing to make a difference. One thing to make a difference. One more. I'm reading the book now that says that we have to be the menders, and we're going to be talking a lot about that book soon. I'm reading 5 books now, all about all of this at once, and it has my mind excited. But menders, we have to be the menders, not the breakers. And they call it the mess. We have to literally help clean up the mess. We have to clean up the mess. So the principle is to direct the power of the mind upon the highest and the greatest picturing of our best self. What is it we truly, truly wish to achieve in this so-called new normal? What part do we want to play in that? And to answer that, we have to remember every positive action always moves towards that which it wants, and that's what receives the attention. So we have to take this positive energy and action and move it towards our goal, in other words. This is where the growth lies. This is where the growth lies, and it's where your light shines. Lights have to start shining. Eyes need to light up. We need to be smiling. We need to be laughing. I had the most unbelievable birthday on Tuesday, and I never laughed so much in my life. And here we were, myself and Leanne and Jules and Renee, and we're out to get ice cream, and we get drowned in that storm on Tuesday. And we laughed, and we laughed, and we ran for cover, and we took pictures, and we laughed. That is a miracle. That's the miracle of being in the moment and having fun with it, no matter what the circumstances are. And that's what this teaching is all about, to rise up, to be in a higher consciousness, to be in that upper room, regardless of what's going on down here. This is becoming a part of something that is bigger than yourself. The absolute and positive use of mind with a definite plan in sight must result in achieving your goal. You know, I'm very serious about this in case you can't tell that. And I'm passionate about this. And when I was working on this yesterday, I was thinking, okay, so I should throw something funny in here right now because I'm pretty heavy and lighten it all up. But you know what? Right now, this is very serious. And it's also a great opportunity and a great time for many new possibilities. But I was still stuck on, an email I got 4 weeks ago. And the email that I got 4 weeks ago from someone in our congregation told me that I say good things, but I need to jazz it up. And I really thought about this. And here's what I thought. I am not here to deliberately entertain you. That's not why you hired me. And although sometimes I admit I can be funny, but funny has to be a natural flow. It has to be something that happens and comes from within. So I can't put funny stories in just because I'm serious about something that needs our full attention. And I'm not even going to try to do that. I'm not going to jazz it up. So no joke here. I'm asking you to take this leap of action very seriously. I'm asking you to remember how powerful your mind is. And I'm sharing with you that it's okay to have a lack of faith and wonder, what's going on out there, Alfie? But more importantly, I'm asking you to be light bearers, the menders of all life. We are called upon to live our lives not by asking God questions, but answering God's question to us. Our task is not to find the answer to our question, but to live our lives to the answer to the only question that really matters. And the only question that really matters is, why are we here? And how should we show gratitude to the fact that we're alive? The deepest wisdom a person can attain to know is that their destiny, my destiny, your destiny, is to aid, serve, and love. That's it. Aid, serve, and love. The challenge is to know. Challenge is to know that. And then take a leap of action. Live as if there is a God. We probably cannot save the world, but we can just help one person. It matters not what we believe or don't believe. It matters what we do. So I ask you now, if you go with me to that quiet place within, uncross your legs, uncross your arms. Let your body just sit back into the chair. Take a deep breath with me. Release it. Let it go. Know that the infinite beloved is here in this very room. Feel the presence. Feel the undercurrents of your heart and soul flowing easily, effortlessly, out to the sea. See the fields of diamonds and gold opening up before your very eyes. Allow them to integrate with your mind, body, heart, and soul. Find within you your greatest passion. And think about how this passion could be turned into a leap of action. What is it you're being called to do? How could you better serve humanity? See a beautiful cliff in front of you. Knowing you are 100% protected by God. Knowing no harm can come to you. Take a deep breath. Jump off into your passion for a life that works for all. What does it feel like? What do you see? Let your eyes and heart take in all that you are. The goodness, the generosity, the love. And as you slowly and very gently return to your environment, know this with me. It is right that we should all ascend to the higher, the greater, and the better. And we all can do that. Welcome back. And now if you would say or just think the words of our offertory prayer with me. The love of God inspires me to give in a spirit of generosity, expressing this love from within to ensure the growth of this ministry and this Unity Center. I give with love and joy, and I receive with gratitude and thanksgiving. And so it is. Amen. And thank you to all of you who are here for your generosity. As you know, we're not doing a collection with people, but there is a basket in the back and you could fill it to the top and that would work very well for me, the board, and our treasurer. And for all of you that donate online and mail in your love offerings to us, thank you so very much. And today I'd like to thank our volunteers, Dave Pauley and Dirk Schreiber and Tom Kloiber. So thank you for that. We could not do Sunday without all the help. And a great big hand for Jules, who is the master of live streaming. And our announcements for this week, we have our book club meets at noon on Wednesdays. And Men's Fellowship Breakfast will start again on July 11th at 9 a.m. with Dave Pauley. And the Women's Circle of Friends begins July 18th at 9 a.m. with Diane Pauley. And a couple of other things that aren't up there. Downstairs is a table filled with all kinds of electric pieces of leftover whatever. If any of you would like to go down there and look at that and take some of it home with you, that would be great. If anyone you'd like to take it and donate it somewhere, that would be great too. But I believe Miss Renee would like that table empty. So do your best to help her. Yes. Also, our beloved Leanne has asked for a sabbatical for this summer. She's been having a little bit of health challenges, nothing crisis level, but she's doing some self-care. So to let you know how the office will run, we'll be on summer hours from 10 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I will work, yes?
10 to 1.
10 to 1, oh, the old hours. Sorry up there, 10 to 1, 3 hours, okay. Thank you, Jules. I will work on Tuesday, and Jules will work on Wednesday and Thursday. So there might be some things that we need some help on. One day on a Tuesday, I'm going to be off. I might need someone to come man the phones for me. And I know I have a couple mailings going out, so I might need help with doing stamps and stickers and all those good things. So if I need help, I will let you know. If anybody's willing to help, let me know, and I'll keep you in mind. The other thing is that in September, it's Leanne's 70th birthday, and she will also be here 20 years this summer. So we are planning now get this word clear in your mind, surprise party. The date will be on the 20th of September, which is a Sunday. It will be at 3 o'clock, which will give us time to break down church, and it will be outside because Leanne will not come inside for any type of a function right now. So it will be outside, and I'm going to actually send out, are you listening, Renee? We're going to send out postcards that say Save the State, getting addresses from her family and from her friends in Sheboygan, so that we invite and even past people that are not with us anymore. Everybody will be invited to this function. If she should decide to retire, we will get 2 cakes. So, but anyhow, save that date. Please plan on being here. You have enough time to know when that's going to be. And we'll talk about a gift for her later on, but my idea is possibly to just do a collection of money and give her money so that she could be able to fly to Maine, or that her family in Maine may be able to fly here to see her for her birthday. So I believe that that is all of the announcements that we have. And so for those of you out in the universe listening to us, we're going to sign off now. And for those of you that are still here, hang around because we're going to talk. Bye for now. See you next week.